How's everybody doing? Good? Enjoying the conference? Awesome, guys. So I'm super excited to be here. Again, my name is Montaz McCray, 26 years old. The last 3 years, I've been in the business since 2021, but the last 3 years I've produced over 20 million in real estate volume, sold over 250 homes throughout my entire career. And I currently own 10 investment properties. And as he said, my new recent audacious thing, I decided to enroll in part-time law school as well, right? So when you talk about trying to have a unique selling proposition for clients, as we're constantly interviewing and fighting for business. So without any further ado, I'll go into my story, and I'll be the first to say that it's unconventional, right? I did not expect to be a realtor. I thought I was going to be like a finance wizard. Like, you could not tell me graduating from college that I would not be somewhere working on Wall Street in New York. So how it happened was I was in my last semester of undergrad, and I took a visit. I visited one of my friends in another state, and he was head of business development at Apple. And he had this $1 million home. He had a G-Wagon, and I'm a car guy. I love cars. I love nice things. So he had this high position at Apple, but he was telling me that he was leaving Apple and getting involved in real estate full time. So again, I was in my last semester of undergrad, and I'm thinking, you know, I had already got a 6-figure accounting job offer, so I knew that's what I was going to do. And I also thought I knew that I wanted to get an MBA so I could fast track my career. But I said, hey, if this guy is where I want to be, he's head of business development at Apple, and he's leaving to get involved in real estate, there must be something in real estate. So before I, decided to pursue graduate school, I was like, hey, let me check out real estate. So I ended up getting my real estate license and passed the test. And so by the time then, I'm starting my new accounting job as well, my 6-figure accounting job. But I'm simultaneously, I had my real estate license. So I'm like, well, how hard is it to do both? It can't be that hard being a dual career agent, right? Until 90 days later, my world came crashing down, and I was locked out of my office, and I got fired, right? Because I was leaving work early to do open houses. I was doing team meetings. I was doing everything that you shouldn't do in your first 90 days of getting a job. So let me just roll you back through the feelings and the emotions that, I was going through at that time. So just imagine being at a high of all highs. I'm 21, making $100,000, making the most out of anybody in my family. Also, I have this new real estate career, so I'm super excited. To fast forward 90 days later, I come to work and my badge doesn't work. I'm like scanning it. Boop, red. Oh, you know what? This must be a mistake. Shake it off. Do it again, red. And I call my manager, and she's like, oh yeah, I've been expecting you. Oh, I was expecting you too. I thought it was a nice day. It was going to be a nice day. But anyway, we end up having a meeting, and she tells me that I need to improve my performance or I'm fired. And I am like busting my butt these next 2 weeks, but it's just not enough to dig myself out the hole. And they're like, boop. So this is crazy, guys, because again, I'm at a high of all highs, and now I'm just feeling like defeated. I'm feeling like, oh my God, like, am I really who I thought I was? And I'm just like, you know what? But I had 3 real estate deals under contract at that time. So I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Because I came home crying to my mom. I'm like, Mom, but it's okay though. Like, I can make it. I can make it in real estate. Okay. So the next day, I have an inspection for one of the buyers that I had under contract. And guess who came to the inspection? Big bad dad. Dad came to the home inspection. So if you could just imagine, that deal actually blew up. And that was like my first deal. And the dad was like, oh my God, how could you let my son put an offer on this house? Like, this was a bad flip. And again, as a new agent, you're very like impressionable and young. So like the words that people impart on you, they really stick. So it was just like, basically the dad ripped me to shreds. So again, I just got fired a day before. Now I'm at the home inspection. The deal obviously blows up. The dad tells me that I'm a horrible realtor and how could I allow his son to put an offer on this home? So I'm like, okay, I'm crying, but I'm not crying that hard because I'm like, I still have 2 deals under contract, right? Still have 2 deals under contract. So now, fast forward, the other deal that I have under contract, it's a listing. It's a listing in Baltimore City. And if you're privy to Baltimore City, you know that Baltimore City is notorious for like, the municipality moves a little bit slower sometimes. And this house had like permit issues for whatever reason. So long story short, that deal didn't end up closing until 6 months later, guys. So I'm begging and pleading with my mom, like, you know, I can make this work. Like my mom's like, you better get another job, boy. And so it's just tough, right? Because a part of me is telling me, hey, do I want to continue to chase my dreams? And another part of me is telling me, hey, go the safe route. And that's my mom. And my mom, she wasn't telling me it from a place of malice, but she was telling me it from a place of love and consideration, and the fact that she knew a lot of other real estate agents that went through tumultuous times. So now I'm conflicted. Do I fight for my dreams, or do I listen to my mom, the one that's cared for me my entire life, the one that would do anything for me, right? So I decided, and I convinced her to allow me just to give me 6 more months to keep trying. Like, hey, mom, just give me 6 more months to a year just to keep trying and to keep fighting. And if not, you know, I'll definitely get another job in a year. So let me tell you what happened and what I did during that time where, you know, I was jobless. Oh my God. I feel like I was jobless. And then, yeah, I was jobless. But what that allowed me to do was I burnt the boat. And I knew, hey, like I have to give this my all. So I woke up every day and made calls. I went to the office. I networked with top agents. I wanted to learn what the best producers were doing. I wanted to learn what the top agents were telling their clients. And I had to educate myself. As new agents, there is a steep learning curve, and you don't know what you don't know. So you need to get under the tutelage of people who are doing the business at a high level. So I connected with those mega agents in my office, but the hidden gems in some of the offices are like the $5 to $10 million producers that have been in the business for like 5 or 10 plus years. And why is that? It's because they have had longevity and success in this business for a reason. So don't always just try to network with your mega agents. Don't forget and overlook your agents that are very tenured in this business. And what does it take to be tenured in this business? They obviously know how to manage their money correctly, right? Make sure you're taking out, you're taking out and accounting for taxes, and, you know, they've been diligent. So you really have to make sure that you're networking with the right people. Okay, so fast forward to that story. Again, I guess another point that you should know, you get paid, the stuff that you do today in real estate, you get paid 3 months in advance. So it's not instant gratification in real estate. So anything that you do today, you're planting seeds, It's literally like gardening. It'll come to fruition later. Literally, it's crazy. I went to an event 2 years ago and I just sold the house to somebody I met at that event. So you're literally planting seeds. So I'm grinding. I'm doing 2 to 3 open houses every week. Again, I'm networking with top agents. I'm going to networking events. I'm going to all my family events, because the biggest thing in real estate, you really don't even have to be the best realtor. You should strive to be the best realtor. You should strive to be the most educated realtor, but you need to be the realtor that's top of mind when somebody is looking to purchase or sell. You need to be the realtor that's top of mind when a friend comes up to them and says that they want to buy or purchase a home. Right? So that's why I'm super, super active on social media, always sending out newsletters, always hosting events, because I just need to be the top of mind realtor. Sometimes you don't even have to be the best realtor. But again, it was 3 to 6 months of me really hitting the pavement. Again, attending events, open houses, learning how to do the business. You have to learn how to speak to clients and how to, effectively articulate yourself. So 3 to 6 months of me doing that, and it just compounds. I sold my first year in real estate. April was about 6 months into 6 months of me into the business. I sold 6 homes in April, right? And that in the following month, it was another 6 homes, and I ended up selling 35 homes my first year in real estate, right? But y'all can clap for that if y'all want, because thanks, thanks. I ended up selling 35 houses my first year in real estate, but it was just the result of massive action. So if you don't really take anything from this speech today, I would just say massive action is the goal. And again, sometimes you don't know exactly what's going to work, because that first year I didn't really understand what lead generation methods were going to work for me, but I decided to try open houses. I tried expires, I tried door knocking, I tried every method of lead generation, and I just found what worked for me. So sometimes you really just have to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And then also I'll say my faith has been a big thing throughout this business, because I prayed a lot, and that's what has definitely sustained me. Because there were a lot of days where, oh my God, I just wanted to quit. I think during that first 6 months, like I probably quit like 70 times. Like, how do you quit 70 times and you just keep going back? But real estate is that kind of business, because I have those days now where it's tough. And another thing I'll say is that this business is not linear. It's up, down, up, down. I feel like I might have been down just yesterday, but now I'm up again. And it's a lot of pulling yourself up by the bootstraps, because real estate is that kind of business. But this business has changed my life, and it's changed my family life as well. And I'm just very, very grateful. So also, I'll say to building personal success, for me, what I've learned in building personal success is not necessarily monetary. For me, yes, I've acquired a certain level of monetary success now, but also when I accept opportunities and when I accept clients now, I like, is this going to contribute to the peace in my life? That's a big thing. So what I've learned also is that success is just not monetary. It's also about peace. And are you truly building a life by design? And that's what real estate has afforded me to do, guys. And I think my time is coming to an end, but I'm just very, very grateful to be here with you all. And thank you so much for the opportunity.